Hello everyone, this is Bentley from Kent, Washington, and today I'm going to teach you a trick about how to propagate stem plants in mass. So here you can recognize this footage from the preview in the last video. This is a big field of mostly Ludwigia pantanal, really cool orange plant, but you can see tons of little tops of stems. If you just look here, you can probably count 20 or so. I'm going to teach you how I did this. Now here's the simple part. It doesn't require anything too difficult. You notice here, I'm going to start going through and I'm going to show you some of these child stems coming out of the top. And you'll notice, if you look really carefully, most of them are in a line. Here's another example. Here's this big line of them here. And as I kind of figure through, you'll see it's like stem, stem. I'm just kind of pointing to these stems and moving them to the side. These are all attached to one much larger mother stem. All of these came from about, I would say, 5 or 6 starts. So why does this happen? When a stem plant, like a pogostemon, a Ludwigia, a rotala, starts getting all of its light on the side of the stem from the top, it's going to grow in a different pattern. So we can abuse this by either letting a stem grow very long and letting it lay all the way across the top of the tank. You can see here I'm holding up the actual parent stem where all of those little child plants are from. And as I move over here to another shot, you can see here's this long stem starting to grow out that I'm letting do this. And you notice no child stems on it, but we go to the one right beside it and a bunch of child stems. The difference here is about 2 weeks of growth when you're doing CO2 and high nutrients and high light. If you're at a little lower, it'll be a little slower, but don't worry about that. You can let the plant float or lay across naturally, and it'll do this. Now, if we go ahead and cut that stem like I have here, you'll notice as we look at this stem, the growth is all on one side. Again, that's because that's where the top of the stem was toward the light, and the plants are going to grow toward the light. Now, a lot of times when you do this, you're going to sacrifice the original stem. And as you see here, I'm actually going to pull up. You can see the top. It gets a little funky when it gets out of the water like this one had. And then over here, here's the cut point. This is where we start going toward where it was actually planted in the substrate. And this, just for reference, this stepladder and this is like about a 15-inch stem. And you can notice on it, there's easily 10 child plants. That's it. You just let it either A, float, or B, lay across the top of the tank. Let it grow real long. And then eventually, because all that light is coming from the side of the stem, it's going to change the growth pattern, and it's going to push all of its nutrients and work toward growing those child plants off the side. That's it. That's your tip on Plants for Profit, an easy way to propagate in mass any of the plants you're working with, especially those that kind of will grow a little longer, like your Ludwigias, like your pogostemons, like your rotalas. That's it, everybody. I hope you really enjoy this. Coming up, I'm going to show you a trip to a koi show that I did, and as always, be awesome.